everybody who participated, dressed up, and did spirit time activities at lunch last week. It was really fun and super entertaining to watch. So, yeah, thanks, guys.
Lunch.
Food. Eat. Psych meeting. Room 4. Lunch.
Are you an actor, an athlete, a dancer, a musician? Do you take tests and quizzes? Do you do homework? Do you have emotions? No. Well, if you could answer yes to any of those things, then you could benefit from mindfulness. So I'm just reminding you that the mindfulness course that Marianne Rowe is starting specifically for adolescents is beginning on Wednesday the 19th. There's information on my door and on the bulletin board across from Mr. Harmon's office. Also, Alex, Audrey, and Lauren, are you here today? Yeah. All of you? Okay, good. Come on up, quick. This was the hardest fought spelling bee round I have ever seen. And I've seen lots of spelling bee rounds. This was, we went to what, a lot of rounds. Alex was sick at home, so we had to call him. And you know what his cell phone sounds like, so there were some words I had to repeat multiple times, and he would be like, wait, what was that? Was that a this? Was that? Anyway, I am very pleased to let you all know that Alex will be representing us at the Monterey County Bee. If he's sick, runner-up, but if he's sick and he can't be there. And Lauren will replace Audrey if she can't be there. So they were amazing, and I have such confidence.
If you missed one of the course planning meetings from the past few weeks, you probably heard from your friends that it was not only informative but incredibly inspirational, and you've probably been wandering around thinking to yourself, gosh, I wish there was an opportunity to go to some kind of make-up course planning session because I'm just bewildered by all the information that I need to think through. Have no fear, tomorrow at 3 o'clock you can join me and Alan Maston, and we'll walk you through everything that you need to know. Parents at home are welcome to come on campus as well. If you're in 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, or 11th grade, moving ahead for next year, come join us tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the chapel. Thanks.
So, has everyone seen this sign up here with these really good-looking York students and faculty member saying thank you with $3,095,037.47 on it? Do you know what that means? That means that this community, faculty, staff, students, parents, alumni, foundations, corporations, and community friends raised more than $3 million for York School as part of our campaign for York. And we had the celebration in here in the chapel last Thursday evening. I want to thank everybody who donated, including those of you at home, and all of you students and faculty and staff who moved the chairs for us so that we could have the celebration here on Thursday. Tom Sanchez for all of his hard work and making the room ready for us. And it's great, $3 million for York. That means we have that money now in our endowment, and it supports financial aid going into the future, and it supports your faculty members going into the future. So give yourselves a round of applause.
regrets that I have about going to York is I really don't have that much time to read anymore. Reading was my first true love, except for perhaps chocolate and, of course, my family. My parents tell me that when I was a baby and they were reading, I would just cry, and they would try to soothe me in every way possible. But nothing would calm me until I had a book of my own. I couldn't read it yet, but I already knew I wanted it. There's a picture of me when I was 5.5 months old and I was crawling around trying to read a book upside down. Well, so what if it was upside down? I got the idea and I was trying. Once my parents realized that if my actions were any indication, I wanted to read, they got right on it. They were both bookworms themselves. I vaguely remember my parents teaching me the alphabet, and I definitely remember the little song that they used to help me teach me to spell my name. G-R-A-C-E spells Grace, doesn't she have a pretty face? Maybe a little bit vain to actually sing that, but I was a toddler, and it did help me learn to spell my name. I remember the first book I ever read all by myself. It was by Mercer Mayer, part of his Little Critter series. It was called Just a Rainy Day. I remember reading it and every few paragraphs stopping and saying, "Mommy, look, I'm reading it all by myself!" And she would say, "Yes, I see that. Good job, sweetie." I was 3 years old, and so the love affair began. I continued reading and reading those books when I was little, and then when I was about 7 or 8, I just kind of got bored of it. Unfortunately, at my elementary school in Colorado, you had to read a certain amount per quarter, so my getting bored with reading was interrupting my otherwise good grades. So in 4th grade, my mom talked to me about my grades and let me know that I needed to catch up on that reading. And I protested, "But Mom, I don't like reading." And my parents would just say, "What happened? You used to love it." Well, so it was that my mom decided if I didn't like reading, I was simply not reading the right books. They looked at the online catalog that my school had for books that they thought were acceptable and would give me credit for, and then they took me to Goodwill after Goodwill, buying books for about a quarter apiece until we had around 100 new books in the household, well, new to us. So my mom labeled them with how many points they were worth and said, "Try some of these, and if you still don't like reading, I will be shocked." So I gave them a shot. And in these new additions to my family's collection of books, I discovered a new love, Nancy Drew. Nancy Drew was a new obsession. These books would keep me up at night. I got a close friend of mine at the time equally hooked, and this continued until 5th grade when I remembered another of my first literary loves, Harry Potter. Now, of course, I saw the first Harry Potter movie when it came out way back in 2001. I would have been, 3? And up until that point, I had seen the first 4. Also, when I was 7, my older sister, Melissa, who I call Missy, read me the first 3 books. We had a lot of fun. She would read in a silly Haggard voice, and I would do my very best Hermione impression. But when I was 10, I hit the big time. I reread the first 3 books, and then read the other 4, all in the span of about 2 weeks. Let us not forget, a 7-book series with maybe 700 book pages per most of the books, that's a lot to read in 2 weeks, especially for a 10-year-old. But I simply couldn't go anywhere without my Hogwarts friends. Then there was 6th grade when I met 2 new obsessions, the first of which was Stephenie Meyer's Twilight Saga, about which I would not shut up until my parents introduced me to my next poison, Meg Cabot. And that started with her Mediator series, which I would highly recommend. And then I went into some of her other stuff. And as I did that, I was able to spread out a little bit more in my reading selection. It took time and practice patience to learn to read enough in the correct doses and with the right attitude. Sometimes I still go kind of wacky. The thing is, people always say you will always love your first love. And I know that I will always, always love mine.
So, for the past 6 weeks, York has been participating, working arduous hours, 6 days a week, on the first robotics competition. This is the first time that York is participating in this year's Aerial Assist Challenge. Today at lunch, we're going to be showing off our progress. If you want to see and experience all of the robotics and the programming and the hardware that we've had to put together for this competition, we'll be out at the basketball courts at lunch, and come check us out.
I'd like to give a big thank you to all the people who've helped us get these over 1,000 working hours on this robot, specifically, and with great thanks to Mr. Raymond for helping set this up, Mr. Hudis and the science faculty for helping us out with supervision and working here, NASA and Mr. Harmon for funding and everything that's been making this possible, as well as all of the community sponsors in Carmel, and Mr. Jacobs, my father, and Zach from NPS, who have been such a huge help for all of this. Please come check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. You get to see us work with one of the hardest challenges that have ever come up in FIRST Robotics, and hopefully you'll get interested and maybe help us out in the next couple of years.
And if you're not too interested in the robotics part, remember that we do need logos. So really, I mean, it's a big deal. If you send us your logo and we select it, it'll be on our t-shirts, all of our swag, all of our buttons. You'll basically be a campus celebrity for a few weeks. So please, even if you have just a really dinky or cheesy idea, it's all is appreciated, and we really appreciate all your support. Thanks again. Thank you.
So, that's fine. So everybody's talking about how Peyton Manning is this great football player. I mean, maybe not recently, but I'm sure before the Super Bowl they said that. And with all this hype about Peyton Manning, I can't help but wonder how his parents feel. Like, they spent all this money for him to get an education, and all they got was a quarterback. Funny, this quarter has coincidentally a Bronco on it, so that's cool. So I'm in a little bit of a tight spot with my 3-year-old nephew right now. He's having some doubts about the story of Christmas, and I mean, don't worry, he's not stupid. He knows Santa exists, but he seems to think that Santa now has a riverfront property in Brazil. It's kind of weird, but I guess I should have seen it coming, considering all of his presents came from Amazon. So, for Christmas, my dad wanted to do something special for once, and he decided to get this like really nice Christmas ham from a local butcher. He had to like order it. It was really fancy and awesome. And when it wasn't ready on time, he was kind of mad, so he angrily called the butcher to see what was up. And apparently he accidentally backed into his meat grinder, and it caused him to get a little behind in his work.
No track today, but it will be tomorrow. We'll be starting meet at the Vans at 3 o'clock. We'll be going to MPC. Also, this Saturday there's going to be a track meet at MPC for like college students. So they're looking for volunteers. You get community service hours, so be there.
Girls soccer has their last game of the season today. It's here and it's versus Kirby. And it's at 3:30 and girls get out of your class at 2:15.
Guys soccer, we have our last game today. It's my, Scotty, Cameron, and Ryan's last game forever and ever. And Reno explains himself. But yeah, it's our last game. It's against PG. It's here on the upper field. Make sure you be there. If you haven't come to a game, this is going to be one heck of a great game. So make sure you all make it.
Blood drive is exactly a week from today. I'm going to be posting sign-up sheets in the bulletin board near the front office. Rob's donating, so that should be enough reason for everyone else to donate too. If you're 16, that's fine. I have permission slips. If you have questions, ask me or Mary Joplin. Thank you. If you like to write and you like theater, the Monterey County Theater Alliance publishes a newsletter every month just talking about what kinds of shows are going on in the community, and they're looking for a high school columnist. So if you're interested, you should come talk to me about that.
Game club tomorrow, room 3 at lunch, and we're having an ERS day, so Gypsum Rat Slam. It's really fun. I'm bringing candy. Also, if you're interested in Magic the Gathering, which is a card game, it's really fun. If you like Lord of the Rings or anything like sci-fi fantasy, come talk to me. I'm going to be talking to people about hosting a draft tournament.
Game on!
York's production of A Midsummer Night's Dream runs from Thursday, March 6th through Sunday, March 9th. So if you want to be an usher, come talk to me for more information.
If you owe the 8th grade IOUs, we're going to start hunting you guys down.
Tomorrow there's a really important Key Club meeting in room 4 at lunch. Please try to be there on time. And also Friday, I'm hosting a screening of this movie, Finding Kind, which is basically an anti-bullying sort of movie, and it promotes kindness. So if you guys would come, I'd really appreciate it. It's 7 p.m. on Friday in the theater. It's $5, so please come. Thank you. 2 quick announcements. One, I just wanted to thank you guys for donating your jeans. York contributed 35 pairs of jeans that are going to the homeless shelter in Seaside, the youth homeless shelter in Seaside. And anybody who donated, I have a coupon for you. And also, Cypress Swim Club, a synchronized swimming club in Carmel Valley, is hosting a meet at Patullo Swim Center this Saturday and Sunday. You can come and earn community service hours for working. I have this, and I'm going to post it on the community service part. Thanks.
Okay, on March 8th, there's going to be a sweet concert at the fairgrounds. I'm selling tickets. They're $5. They'll be $7 at the door, and I started with 50, and I've already sold 4 to my mom, so they're going fast.